if you people are connected and they're disconnected, right? You can't have too many connections, can't have too many disconnections. So people are connected on social media. They're disconnecting from their beliefs.
Yeah.
They're following everybody else. Yeah. You know what I mean? These Buddhas, these monks, they sat down and contemplated inside themselves.
For years.
Yeah. People think he just burned inside. He's just like, yeah, I'm good. Nah, that took a long time. He was doing that for a while, and you just don't get to that level like easy. It takes discipline, and it takes you like battling your inside, like your inner mind.
Yes.
Bro, think about like as weird as you said it, bro. Those voices in your head, like saying you should do this, do that.
So I was telling Angelo a couple of days ago that and I always say this, and I really want people to take this away. I struggle my whole life. I struggle with seeing things through and committing to things. I think that's part of my struggle, but to me, that's like, I'm proud because that's something I've worked on and something I'm working to overcome, and I've made incredible progress. But a lot of times I hear this voice, right? Or this voice telling me like we were talking about dieting, this voice being like, nah, fuck it, man. You want the pretzels. You goddamn right. I want the pretzels. But do I really, am I willing to give up immediate satisfaction for long-term not gratification, but for long-term satisfaction for something I know I really want? Like I know I want this, but it's just easier for me to do this. And sometimes I'm like, is that voice is not me. Or maybe it's a part of me, but it's not who I want to be. So I can choose to be like, I hear you, but nah, fuck that. That was the old me. We don't do shit like that no more. Yeah. And you're always gonna have this voice, right? Like any challenging thing you're gonna do, that internal voice is gonna be like, yo.
Well, it's protection.
You
don't. It's a hard goal to get to. You know what I mean? That it's hard to get to where you want to be. So you protect yourself by like, nah, I can eat this pretzel, like whatever. Like I don't need to get a 6-pack. Right. I don't need to live a healthier life.
Right.
So like you're protecting your ego, kind of. I feel like
exactly protection. Yo, perfect. Yeah. Protection and comfort. That's what it is. It's like, dude, and this is familiar to me. Pushing past my limits is not familiar, and it's difficult. So let me just cool it, right? And I feel like that's what myself and most people in any venture that they're trying to better themselves or do something, that's what they go to. But now back to this overwhelming thing we call life. Fuck that, bro. Fuck that. Life is like I said, I don't know what I believe, but to me, I know for a fact life is too fleeting. Like this shit can, as we see in 2020, don't take anything for granted. Like anything can happen. Mm-hmm. So do I want to be someone who easily succumbs to my own devices, like my vices? Or do I want to be a man who inspires others and stands on what he says and really does this shit? Because like it's crazy. Well, like we were saying, look at the universe, bro. Yeah. This shit is unfathomable. It's actually, humans can't wrap our minds around the size of this. I saw a fact the other day that there are more, like really think about this to my listeners, like really comprehend this. There are more stars in our one solar system than there are grains of sand on all the beaches in the world. There's billions of solar systems.
Yeah.
And they're all bigger than the Earth. That's an incomprehensible size thing to me. It's like infinity. So I'm here doing this. Well, shit, let me make the fucking best of it. Let me not be a whack. A person who's just like...
It's the journey, bro. It's the journey. You got to enjoy the journey. And you got to... I'm an emotional person. You have to apply the emotion to it.
Yeah.
So like me, I'm going to like think about the end result. And I'm going to think about me doing this, who I'm going to impact. So me changing my diet. So during quarantine, I changed my diet completely. My life changed. You know what I mean? And my end goal was like, I want to get to this. Like, I want to get my body right. I want to get my mind right. I want to get them connected. So it all works as one unit.
Yes.
But then I want this to impact other people.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy that when I posted a picture, and it was crazy about how many people texted me and said, yo, you inspired me. I'm going to start doing this. And from that day on, I was like, that's what it is. I was like, you want a long-term goal? You have to get emotionally involved, I believe.
Yeah.
You have to get emotionally involved, and you got to think about the end result. Who are you going to impact by doing this?
Yeah.
Like, people ask me, what did you do? I'm like, yo, I ain't do it in one day.
Right. Yeah.
This was months and months.
Discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think going through it and realizing that and explaining that to people and showing people that, like, because I'm a normal person. People have podcasts with famous people on here with,
of course,
these big people. You're like, like he got millions of dollars. I'm gonna listen to him. But hearing it from somebody, a regular person just like you and me, like hearing it from me, I think it translates easier to like more people.
You're right. It definitely does because like one of my favorite people right now is David Goggins. Do you know?
Oh, he's the man.
What?
The man.
That dude is a fucking beast, right? And you look at him and you're like, all right, this guy's a fucking psycho. But nah, man, we all got it. Like for real, because we're all human. We all have that. It's there. It's not easy,
channel it.
Right? You just have to. I have this thing where I say, I want to be the one to put myself in the deep end.
Oh.
I don't
love that.
It's easy when you get thrown into the deep end because then you have to get out the fucking water.
And you could blame it on somebody else.
Right. This guy threw me in here. Exactly. But now if I put myself in the deep end, I'm like, I'm making a conscious decision to go and fight this thing. And I do believe that of myself. I believe I'm a fighter, not in a fist fight type of way, but that when life presents its battles, I hope, and I really do pray about myself, like, that I'm there for the fight. That I show up, and scary or not, like, it's not going to be easy. Yeah. Like, you're going to have to, life, you're going to have to see me about it.
It's battles, little battles every day. It's these little wins and losses, the highs and lows of life that make it fun.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That make it worth it. Because it's like, all right, you won here. Yeah, that's cool. But then the next battle, you lose. It's like, fuck, I got to get back from this. Like, you're on an all-time low. Yeah. And I think, from what I think that's the most fun. When you're fighting from this low and you're like, I got to get back up here, and you win again. Yeah. And that constant win-loss, high and low, that's life.
Yeah, and facts. And it's invaluable when you reinforce a narrative within yourself that, like, yo, I got this. Like, I'm overwhelmed. Like, let's not get it twisted. This is super hard, but I got this. Mm-hmm. When you tell yourself, like, yo, I'm going to do this, and then you do it, yo, you're powerful. Like, I'm going to, like, to be very honest about how I felt about not this particular podcast, but this podcast in general. I set a date, which was September 6th, which was my 26th birthday. And about a couple weeks prior, man, I was in my feelings, bro. Like, I'm talking about, like, damn near crying about it. Like, having this really, really whack talk with myself. Like, yo, what if it's whack? What if I don't want to do it? What if people don't, whatever my brain wanted to put together. Like, yo, all the reasons you should stay in your comfort zone. And I was like, I go back to, like, you know what, Matt? That's not who I want to be. I wouldn't be content with myself in that way. So I'm going to do it.
And you won that little battle.
And I won that little battle, right? So for that first one, hard. That second one, easier. This third one, easier. We have to reinforce this because if you quit before the going even gets tough, you internalize the fact that you're not even willing to show up to the fight. So when that next challenge arrives, I won't even show up to this fight.
I missed the last one.
So fuck it, I'm going to skip on this one too. I don't want to be here. And you reinforce this whack-ass thing that's like protection. And like we said, the protection of myself. But man, that is not real life to me. That's not what real life should be about. And like I said, it's not even about some grand thing of fucking this this huge battle I'm fighting. It, like you said, it's reinforcing this little stuff. Like people think I'm joking, like making your bed in the morning. Like it's the little things that it's like, okay, I'm gonna set the tone for the day.
The little disciplines. The
little disciplines that go a long way when you're facing life. Because as we all know, life is brutal, unforgiving, hard, whatever, but I'm harder. Like, that's how I try to really do this shit. Like, yeah, that's true. All that's true. Don't matter.
I don't want to make my bed, but shit, I'm going to do it because I told myself I will.
Easy.
And
not easy, but...
It's a little thing, but that translates to life. That translates to just anything else you do.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
And it's crazy that you even have to do those little disciplines to get you to like reinforce that.
Yeah.
But that's what works.
Right. And maybe not, maybe everyone doesn't feel like that. Maybe people are, I think people can be happy just being themselves and not being a super hard worker.
Or something. Content.
Yeah, you can be content, which is good. You should be content. But for me, that doesn't work because I always see myself, how I, my whole life, I've always been attracted, not physically or sexually, but I've always been attracted to like these characters of people who are like the chosen one, right? So for me, like I love Kobe. Kobe Bryant, RB, my man, Kobe Bryant, bro. Like he was the first. He was the first that was like, "Yo, let's do it." And he set the blueprint for me, right? And then obviously other people, but even on like a fiction level, like Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter, man. For real, like I really do love it. Like people, I don't know how people view me about that. I don't give a fuck how you feel. Like, but I've always connected to these characters who like, they are here. Not that I'm the fucking savior of the universe. Obviously, I don't feel that way. But I feel like this is how I have to be. And this is my gift to the world. And if I'm giving, I feel like my work should be giving to others. 100%. And that gives me fulfillment.
But why not feel like you're the savior of the world?
Facts.
You know what I mean? You should live like that.
Yeah, facts.
And you should feel like that. You should want to do that.
You're right. And I don't want people to think I'm a fucking egomaniac because that's not what it's what it's about. But yeah, hell yeah. My whole life I was like, yo, I'm gonna change the world.
See, that's the thing. You can't let people dictate how you feel, what you say, like. Let people take that the way they're going to take it. Like we said, we can't articulate our words the greatest.
Take it how you want it.
Take it how you want it. But like that's something we want to do. We want to change the world, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think more people should have that mindset. I think we'd be in a happier, wholesome world.
More loving, more accepting, more everything.
Cuz people do that. People are like, "Oh, I can't change the world myself, so I'm not going to do anything to help."
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, damn.
Well, you got to do your part. That's how we all, right.
What if you take on this, I want to change the world myself, like I could do it. And then by changing one person at a time, I change the world. Everybody had that, all connected.
The world would be,
oh my God, bro. You don't understand what would happen.
And back to the positivity thing, we have all consciously, unconsciously, subconsciously, whatever, co-created this whole universe thing. Like it is what it is. Like the reason you see racism at a peaking right now and in the public eye, you see in other countries there's like millions of Muslims in concentration camps in China. There's all this atrocity, right? Like people historically, this is the result of people not being loving, good to one another, caring, having purpose and drive, and a lack of respect. And you're right. If we just say, "Oh, well, I can't do anything about it," well, look. One, that's a whack way to go about life. And even if you feel that way, that's just whack. I don't want to go through life thinking I have no impact on anything. Then life is just happening to me, and I'm just fucking flowing in the wind. Whatever. That's whack.
That translates to anything else in life.
Exactly. So we need to take some accountability. And be like, it's my responsibility to love and uplift my brothers, my sisters, like the people close to me.
Yeah.
And then on a grander scale, to really impact them, to equip them with, hey, you can do this too. And even though you yourself might not be, what is it? What's the phrase? The straw that broke the camel's back, you know? But we're all one straw. So, you know, after enough of us get on this type of time, we can make some real change. Mm-hmm. And it should be about that if you care about the future of this planet and our country and our people and my children and their children. And
even if you care about yourself.
Exactly.
Like, it's going to impact you.
Yes.
You over here telling yourself, no, this won't get to me. This won't affect me. Nah, I don't need to do this. It won't affect me. Yo, it's going to affect you. And like you said, we're all just connected. So, like, it will come back around, bro. And people don't get that. People don't understand that. And it's frustrating to a certain extent because, like, I want to see everybody who's close to me flourish. Yeah. And when people are like, nah, like they give the attitude, I can't do this. Like, I won't impact you, like people this way. Yeah. It's frustrating. Cause I know me, I'm like, yo, you can. I see potential in everybody. Yeah. I see the potential. I see you and I'm like, yo, this guy's going to change the world. Yeah. He could do it. Will he do it though?
It's a different story. Right.
And then when you talk to them and you're like, oh, nah, I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm like, yo, they don't even know what they could do.
They don't even know what they got.
They don't even know what they have.
Yeah, man. It is sad when you see people who, like you, not that I only see the good in people, because I don't. I think I see people, you know, I see everything about people. But yeah, when you see people who, they lack self-confidence and they lack true belief in themselves that they can do something, you know?
I think, though, that's why the bad comes out. Yeah. Because of their confidence.
Yeah.
But I think if you see the good in somebody, right?
Yeah.
I think you could pull it out.
Oh, yeah.
You could pull it out by being you. By bringing that energy. Yes. Like, I feel like I do that very well.
You do.
I feel like I see the, like, good in people that are deemed bad.
Yeah.
Like, why are you friends with this kid? It's like, because he never did anything to me. Yeah. It's because you just don't know how to approach him. You don't know how to get the good out of him.
Yeah.
And more people, I feel like, need to learn that. It's hard.
Of course.
I don't know. I don't even know how that started with me.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of, like, my greatest not achievements, but, like, one of my...
Crowning, things you're most proud of about
exactly.
yourself. Yeah.
Just to see the good and pull it out of them. Because most people could see the good. Can you pull it? Can you get it out of them? Can you make this person a better person?
Yeah.
And...
that's a skill, too, man.
Yo, and I love that. Because then my view on people, all of a sudden this person comes along and they see how they act with me and it changes their perspective on them. Yeah. And then the next person comes and changes their perspective
and even about the person you're talking about, where that person might have been deemed a bad kid, whatever he was deemed. But now you come around, you show him like, yo, nah, we don't got to do things this way, or you can be like this. You're right, man. That is powerful. And I don't know where we learned it either. I mean, I always tell people, I was raised in a weird, I know what I'm saying? Like, I was raised in some shit.
I can verify that.
You can verify that, you know? But also, because of that, I think I learned from my family's experiences and I internalized them early. Mm-hmm. You know, I was an only child for 13 years of my life, so it was just me, and I was chilling with adults, like, you know. And if you
were exposed to some shit early.
Yeah, if you know my dad, you know what I'm talking about. You know my family, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And it's not just that. It's, you know, I have one family this way. My parents were never together as far as like me being alive. My parents were never together. And then I have my mom's side of the family, and they equipped me with this. And then my mom was with somebody, right? So another man was in my life, and I got taught what that family believed, right? So I had all these different points of view, whereas I think most families get shoved into this, you know, you get taught what your parents believe, and most of the time you just take that. But for me, I was fortunate enough to be like, yo, I have I have like 50 different voices, right? So I got to mold my shit differently, you know? And for me, it's like, yo, this was dope. And that did spark my, my view of the world is different, man. And so is yours. And like you said, it goes back to being with like-minded people, wanting the people around you to be, to have the same care about the world and the same love for things and the same viewpoint. Not that we have to agree about everything, because of course we don't. Mm-hmm. But when we're on a similar type of wavelength, we're connected and we're good.
Yeah. So to talk on that too, like with the families and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think with me and you, a lot of parents want legacies, you know? So they see their kid as a legacy. They're like, I want to teach them, instill them of what I know this, instead of just letting them grow and be who they want to be.
Yes.
And I think that was like the difference between me and you. We didn't have that. We weren't forced to be anything.
Right.
It was like, yo, do what you want and learn how you learn and let that be how you grow and become the man you become.
Yes.
And I think that's what happened with us. Like, we weren't forced to be this like, oh, my dad played basketball, so I want to play basketball. Right. No, he didn't force you to play basketball.
At all. He didn't force me at all.
You chose to do that because you were like, I love this sport. I love watching it.
Yep.
It just happened. He let you grow the way you wanted to grow. Your mom, same thing. She let you grow the way you wanted to grow. And that's why you were able to like go through things and filter out what you didn't want, what you did want. And that's, I think, how we became the men we are now and why we're so just, I feel like we're ahead.
We are.
In a little way, but like from other people our age.
Yeah.
Because I think of things a little deeper.
Deeper. Mm-hmm.
Differently, yeah. But I think that's what, like, mostly what it is.
No, I agree. Like, when you talk about, for my younger years, man, my dad is, like, my hero. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. My dad played professional basketball, was top 100 in the country for years, broke, like, NBA player scoring records in high school. And my dad at the time was like a certified, you know, like a real dude. Like, trust me, you know what I'm saying? Like, take my word for it.
Certified on the block.
You know what I'm saying? Like take my word. I'll give you a quick story. Like I said, we're from West Haverstraw, which is, it's not like it's the hood or anything, but it's more diverse than most places. Like, in fact, Haverstraw is probably mostly black and Latin. Like, in fact, most, you know, not everything. So there was like this little gang, like a gang where like I saw these kids like beat kids up with bats. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Down the block, right? And so down the block is where the hoops is at.
Samsondale,
stand up. But I'm talking about like 8 or 9, bro. I'm going to hoop. And I would see these kids, they're like 17, 16, whatever. And they would come up to me, they'd be like, yo, Matt, you boo son, right? First of all, this is how you know it's real. My dad's name is Boo, like Big Boo, like, or, you know, like my dad's name is Big Boo. And yo, you're Boo's son, right? I'd be like, yeah. Yo, do me a favor and tell your dad I said hi to you. I'd be looking at them like, my nigga, what? I don't know you. Don't come up to no 10-year-old. I'm not telling my dad nothing. But anyways, like that's how I grew up. And you're right. My dad being so good at basketball never pushed it on me, ever. I ended up hooping because I wanted to be like my dad and I love the sport. Mm-hmm. But no one in my family, you're right, they definitely equipped me with this freedom to grow, like this freedom to blossom how I needed to grow. And because of that, I think I've come to have a lot more freedom of thought. You know, so shout out to my parents, shout out to my family. Like, I appreciate you, my daddy. I appreciate you. I love you. My mommy had me at a young age. She is dope. She's my rock. That's my lady. My 2 sisters, my younger brother, like everybody in my family. I love you, man. You guys are dope, like for real. So,
yeah, man. I just agree with all that.
Yeah,
and even growing up, seeing Boo and everything, he bully us on the court, but after, you know, a humble guy.
Yeah.
And you see that and you feed off that. You know what I mean? He was humble. He was the man. Yeah. Yo, he got a bucket whenever he wanted. Testify to that. But he was humble and we saw that. And you know what I mean? That's what we grew up on. So that's what we wanted to be. We wanted to be humble, but we wanted to be great.
Yeah.
And that was our lifestyle, bro.
That was the life, bro.
I would not change our life for anything. The way we grew up, man. I tell everybody, like, I grew up in this one kid. I'm like, yo, you don't know him? But this one kid, man, every day we used to walk the train tracks and we used to just go play ball every day. Like, think about that. At a young age, who plays basketball every single day of their life? Kids want to do this and that, do a bunch of other things. Nah. It was basketball and nothing. And we only did it because we loved it. It wasn't like we were forced or anything. We loved that shit. And we found a passion and we found a drive at a young age, which I don't think too many people do nowadays with like video games, all these other things, all these other distractions.
Escapism's right.
Like what's funny is I try to escape my household. My household wasn't bad,
right?
But it was small. It was like I enjoyed being outdoors.
It was a lot, right, for you.
So my escape was going with you, playing ball all day, like exploring all day, spending my whole day outside. Yeah. Now people escape in their rooms with the video games. It's like, it's a different time.
And you don't get no experience. You don't get no experience, man. Like, not that I'll say this about me and you. I think we were both good kids.
Yes.
Right? And if you're not a good kid, I can see how you get fucked up doing stuff like that, you know? But we were good kids, so we learned so much shit. Like, man, like really think about what we did. Like, I'm talking about, let's take the summer. Bro, we would play basketball and do whatever for like 10 hours a day. We were on it. Like, it was sick. Yeah. It was really sick. But like you said, that's what shaped us and made us the way we are, you know?
Yeah. And it's because we wanted to do it.
Because we wanted to do it. My man, Angelo, this conversation was so dope. Like, man, I'm happy. You're the man, bro. For real, you're the man.
Always love connecting.
We're going to wrap it up here. My brother, we out.
Yo, peace.
How you feel?
Yo, that was great.